Hi, I'm Carl Conrad. The Australian Immigration Law Services team has 23 years of experience and we help our clients get their visas to live, work and study in Australia. On this channel, we share videos about Australian visas, the latest requirements, tips and important immigration news. If you want to learn more about immigrating to Australia, subscribe to get our videos every week. If you're applying for the 189 visa, State 190 visa or Regional 491 visa, then you'll have to score at least 65 points on the General Skilled Migration Points Test to be eligible for your visa. You can score in the points test across a number of different categories. These are age, partner skills, your English language ability, prior skilled employment, the level of your educational qualifications, if you have studied in Australia, and if your education qualifications for a course in a STEM or ICT field, and a number of other ways. Finally, you score points if you're nominated by a state or territory, and this directly relates if you're applying for the State 190 or Regional 491 visa. There is not much you can do about your age, but your prime years in the eyes of the Immigration Department is between 25 to 32 years old. If you're within that age range, you score 30 points. There is no other category on the points test in which you can score as high as 30 points. If you are 45 years old, you will not be eligible to apply for these visas. Your score is based on your age at the time the immigration invites you to apply. And we've done videos on how this application works, and you can watch these videos in the link in the description below. Briefly, however, it works like this. You submit an expression of interest to apply for your visa. You wait to be selected, and when you are, the Immigration Department will send you an invitation to apply. At this point, you lodge your visa application. You can think of the EOI process as a preliminary application. Basically, you're getting older while you wait for your invitation, and your EOI may sit in the queue for over a year. Some wait even longer. For this reason, you really should submit your EOI as early as you can. You are able to update the information on your EOI after you submit it, and even submit multiple EOIs. In this category, you get 10 points if you are single, if your partner is an Australian permanent resident or citizen, or if your partner is skilled and has competent English. If not, you can still score 5 points if your partner has competent English. In relation to being skilled, this means that your partner is under 45 years old, is a secondary applicant, in other words, they're included with your application as a partner, has a positive skill assessment for an occupation that is on the same list as yours. Your occupation list depends upon which visa you're applying for. There is a national list for the 189 visa and different list for the state and territory sponsorship. To find out more about occupation lists, watch our videos on different visas, state and territory requirements. We also have a video on skill assessment. You can find out all the links in the description below. If your partner cannot get a skill assessment in an occupation on the same list as yours, you can still score 5 points if your partner has competent English at least. A partner includes those by marriage as well as de facto partners. Having a competent level of English is a requirement that you must fulfill to be eligible for the 189, 190 or 491 visa. If you're unable to provide evidence of competent English, you cannot apply for the visa. You get no points for competent English, however, 10 points for proficient English and 20 points for superior English. There are 5 different English language tests that you can take, being the IELTS General or the academic one, TOEFL IBT, PTE Academic, the OET or the Cambridge C1 Advanced Test. You can choose to take any. You will be tested in the 4 areas being listening, reading, writing and speaking. If you have a passport from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada or New Zealand, you are considered to have competent English without needing to do a test. However, if you want to score more points through proficient or superior level English, you will need to take the test as evidence. Skilled employment refers to prior work experience. You can score points for experience gained overseas and in Australia. Work experience in Australia is favoured and you earn more points for that. This only counts for your work in your nominated occupation or one that is closely related. We made a video about what closely related means, so check that out too. You can combine work experience in and outside of Australia up to a maximum of 20 points for this category. You do not have to get your work experience assessed before you lodge your application, even though there are some assessing bodies which carry out assessment for points. The Immigration Department will look at your resume and information you provided to determine the years you have worked in relevant occupations at the required skill level. As a quick example, doing administrative tasks in an accounting team would not be at the required skill level for an accountant. We have also made another video called Are You Really an Accountant? You can use the steps outlined in this video for all occupations, so check it out. To get a clearer idea of the kind of job and responsibility the Immigration Department wants to see, visit the ANZCO website to look up the description for your nominated occupation. You can claim experience across different jobs, including closely related occupations. These are occupations with the same first 4 digits in their ANZCO code. Learn more about this and how to make sure you are claiming the maximum skilled employment points you can, and the link is in the description below. This is a straightforward category. You score more points for higher level education qualifications. These are for qualifications gained in Australia or overseas. Your highest qualification does not have to be related to your nominated occupation. However, if you gained your qualifications overseas, they must be assessed as being a qualification as equivalent to the Australian qualification level. Your skill assessment results should make mention of this fact, but if it does not, you may need to get it assessed independently. It is possible to have your overseas qualifications assessed using the Australian Government's Country Education Profile subscription service. We'll place a link in the description below so you can have a look at that. You get 5 points for meeting the Australian study requirement. This means you must have at least 1 degree, diploma or trade qualification from an Australian education provider that meets the Australian study requirement. We have made a video about that and what the Australian study requirement is and how you can meet it, and there will be a link provided in the description below. You are given these 5 points for it shows you have spent time in Australia, gained your qualification here, and integrated with the local community. If you have studied in Australia for a master's degree by research or a doctoral degree in the science, technology, engineering, mathematics or ICT field, you can score 10 points. For your qualifications to be eligible, you must have studied for at least 2 academic years. The relevant fields include natural and physical sciences, such as biology, chemical physics, earth sciences, and so forth. Information technology, such as computer science, information systems and technology. Engineering, which includes aerospace, civil, electrical and electronic, manufacturing, mechanical and more. You can score 5 points for credentialed community language qualifications from NAATI. You get these points for being sufficiently fluent in another language. Many of you are likely to know a second language or have a native language that is not English. NAATI qualifications are relatively easy to get, and you can even sit for the test online these days. To learn more about NAATI, watch our video linked below. You can also score 5 points for living and studying in regional Australia. You have to physically live in a regional area while studying at a campus located in a regional area. Both have to be met to gain these 5 points. As a side note, recent new regulations will now allow students who have met this requirement and have continued to live in a regional area after their study may be able to extend their Graduate 485 visa. A video on that too is in the description below. You will also get 5 points for completing a professional year program in Australia. And this must be at least 4 years before you are invited to apply. These are professional development courses combining formal learning and workplace experience, allowing students to develop industry-specific skills that will help them join the workforce. Unfortunately, these programs are not available for all occupations and are mainly for those in accounting, computer science, and engineering. Finally, you gain 5 points or 15 points if you have been nominated by a state or territory government, or 15 points if you are eligible to be sponsored by an Australian relative for the 491 Australian Relative Sponsored Visa. 5 points are awarded if you've been sponsored by a state or territory for the 190 visa. 15 points are awarded if you've been sponsored by a state or territory for the 491 visa. 15 points are awarded if you're being sponsored by an Australian relative for the 491 visa. We have covered what it means to be sponsored and nominated in our videos published on the 190 visa and the 491 visa, so please have a watch of these to understand their principle. For state and territory sponsored nominations, we have covered the requirements for both the 190 and 491 visas now across all 8 states and territories. We have also made a video giving our opinion which is the best region to go to be sponsored, so don't miss that one. There are more tips on getting more points, so make sure you are subscribed to get all of our videos. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. If you're thinking of applying for a skilled visa and you need help, we offer Zoom, Skype and telephone consultations. You can visit australiavisa.com to book an appointment or find out more about what we do and the services we provide. Follow us on Facebook to get all of our updates, and as always, take care out there and I'll see you next time. So bye for now.
Let's go.